Hi, everybody, and welcome to the New Jersey Titans Coaches Corner. I'm your host, Tom Willms, and I have with me, of course, the GM and head coach of the New Jersey Titans, Craig Doremus. Craig, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me, Tom. Good to see you.
Well, long off season rather, is over. Do you guys get any opportunity? I mean, I know there's the pre-draft, all the pre-season stuff. Is there a chance to kind of walk away, kind of regroup, kind of escape for a few weeks, maybe, to kind of step forward to the new season?
Yeah, I think for us, obviously it was a busy, short off season, a lot of work put into it. And I don't know if we got a couple weeks to walk away, but I hope everyone on staff was able to get away for a week or so, and kind of recollect their thoughts and regroup and refresh going into the year, because it is a long season, right? And you're coming off a hectic, crazy one, and now going into what we hope will be a normal season, which I think everyone probably feels at this point. They hope they go from this point till late May, and we're hoping to do that exact same thing. So I think it's important that everyone got a couple of days away to relax and regroup a bit and decompress before going here, because that allows you to put your best foot forward.
Now, one great thing about this offseason is the commitments just keep on rolling in. Matt Yasenza to Hobart, David Posman to Niagara, Evan Werner to Colorado College. So to conclude last season, 18 commitments, 17 of which going D1, among the highest in the North American Hockey League. And congratulations to you and the entire Titans organization. That's great stuff.
Yeah, I think, it's, as you talk about the goals and objectives of junior hockey, and, winning is always at the forefront. I think after that, you talk about your player development models and what you're doing in terms of moving players on. And we've been fortunate here to work with some really gifted, talented young men, and they wear our sweater and then go on and wear a sweater of a college hockey program. So much of the credit goes to them and the work they put in here, and how much they take advantage of the facilities and amenities they're afforded as New Jersey Titans. So credit to those guys. We're really happy for them. And I'm sure we'll be hearing about a couple more here shortly as well. So credit to those guys, and happy they were able to achieve that part of their career and their dream.
Now on to the new season. It seems like you've built the roster a little bit differently this year, adding some size to the equation. So what was kind of the thought process behind getting a little bigger?
Yeah, I think for us, there was a lot of reflection that went into last year, and what was done well and what we felt we needed to improve on. I don't want to say what wasn't done well, because I don't think it was a bad hockey team or a bad season at all. It's just, what did we want to do better and improve on to take the next step? It's kind of been the theme of the process here since the end of last season, is we need to take the next step as a franchise here. And that means we have to win the Eastern Division. So when you go through that self-reflection, I think as long as you're open and honest with each other and have some real conversations, we wanted to get a little bit longer. We wanted to get a little bit heavier, add a little bit more girth to the lineup, both from the front and back ends. And I think we've done that. I think the integrity and the character of the room is extremely high, and the maturity of the group we've been really impressed with here throughout the training camp process. But I think everyone probably feels relatively happy with their team at this point, until you start playing some games and seeing the pimples pop out of the team. So I think that's where we are right now. We like our group. We like our group a lot. But we have to see what happens when the bullets start flying. And for us, that'll come this Friday versus Maryland, and then continue on through, April, May, and March, and all that jazz. So excited to get started here and see really, what type of group we did put together, and how far we can go.
Well, you had a relatively young, inexperienced squad last year, but in the new campaign, you've got some great leadership coming back, including the guys who weren't really expected to return. I'm kind of talking about Jake LaRusso and Jack Ford, the guys who had committed, or maybe are still committed, but still want to be Titans. That's going to be huge. I think it's going to be pretty huge for the development of this new team.
Yeah, I think junior hockey experience, whether it's in the North American League, which for us would be great, or any other type of high quality junior level, is always advantageous for us, both from an off-ice standpoint in terms of knowing your body, how to manage the full season, how to handle the ebbs and flows of a year in terms of peaks and valleys. And then just on ice in terms of the time and space, or lack thereof, and how to manage pucks and make decisions. I think that's critical. And I always, since I've been in the league, I think I've always said that year 1 to year 2 jump is so critical, because it should be quote unquote easier and you should be more successful. Does it always happen? No, but for the most part, I think for the qualified hockey players, it does. And for us, that was, like you said, it was something we were lacking last year with the big turnover from the previous year. Whereas we hope this year we have it, and we hope we have it in spades, not only from the players you spoke about, but some of the other newer faces we brought in here do come here with a significant amount of junior hockey experience, and they're hungry. These are guys who are driven. They're motivated to be here. They want to be Titans, and they want to win. They want to win a championship, and they want to win it here. So I think that's huge for us, and the motivation and the galvanizing factor we have in that dressing room right now is going to be special.
We talked about leadership, and you've named Stephen Willey as your captain. What led to naming him as the boss on the ice?
I mean, as you look through it and you get to know Stephen, I think it becomes pretty obvious. He's such a mature kid. He holds himself as accountable as anybody else. And I think his time management, his commitment to the process in terms of the off ice work and the on ice work and what goes into being a successful hockey player is there. Obviously his core values speak for themselves. He's a young man who's committed to serve our country at West Point. And I think those people are always special. I don't think that's for everyone. I think any kid who goes there, and we've been so fortunate here in New Jersey to have so many of those players. And I think that speaks to the quality of human beings that are coming through this door. I just think Stephen does everything the right way. He's a we over me person, which is critical for us in terms of our success as a hockey team. And I think he garners the respect of every person in and around our organization because he's willing to walk the walk, not only talk the talk. Stephen does every little thing this team needs, whether it's mopping the floor, picking up the trash, scoring a goal, back checking, blocking a shot, you name it. Stephen is not going to ask anybody else to do something that he wouldn't do. And we've been really pleased and happy with him. And I think he has the respect of everybody in our organization.
Now, you've been in training camp for a while, so you've had the newcomers in for a few weeks. How do you feel, the the new members of the Titans, how do you think they're acclimating to the program so far?
I think so far so good. Obviously, the ultimate measure here is when you get on the ice and play an opponent, which we haven't been able to do so. But I think in terms of our own self-evaluation and going through what we try to build on here structurally and habitually throughout our style of play, they've been really good. I think guys are eager to learn and grow and develop as players, whether it's a skill function or something tactically in terms of reading the game with some hockey IQ and vision. I think every guy has been very open to improving here, and I think they've done that over the course of the first 2 or 3 weeks. And, that's something that I think for us is exciting because if they're doing that over 3 weeks, what's it going to mean in the next 6 weeks, 12 weeks, so on and so forth. So I think the ceiling's really high for the group here in terms of their character and their talent and how much better they want to get. But I think everyone's acclimated themselves well, both from a training standpoint in the gym to a video classroom and then obviously on the ice and the practices and the controlled scrimmages we've had.
Now, taking a look between the pipes, there are some unknowns heading into the season. Camp underway. So is that picture a little bit clearer now that you've had a couple of weeks with those guys?
I would say no, and I think that's a credit to the 3 young men we have here. I think they've all competed every day, which is something we've harped on since day one. We want it to be competitive and spirited, and I think all 3 young men have done that. They've shown well. It's been harder to pick who's been the best guy every day than who's been the worst guy every day, right? Because they've all fared really well, and they've given the coaching staff a really tough decision at this point, which is what we wanted. We wanted that from every position group, and we spoke to them, make our jobs hard, make the decisions hard, and credit to the 3 young men in net. They've done that, and they've done it in spades. We're really happy with our group.
Now we look towards opening weekend. It starts off with the East Division finalists, the Maryland Black Bears. After making the playoffs last year, they won their first series in their history. They're going to be just as hungry as you guys are. What are you expecting on the ice coming this weekend?
Well, you know what you're getting. Clint's been there a few years, and he does a great job, him and his staff. And, they're going to be disciplined and structured and play the game the right way. Clint's a great guy. I got to know him well and coach with him last year at Top Prospects. So I really respect how he goes about his business and his preparation for his team and his attention to detail. So you have an idea what you're getting at. I'm sure they have different personnel groups this year, so I'm sure there'll be some different tweaks and new wrinkles that he'll have ready for us. And we're somewhat familiar with each other. We've coached against each other for a few years now. So it's always a chess match, right? You got to make sure you're prepared to play and you got to execute. That goes for almost every opponent in this division. So we're excited. I think it's a good barometer for us. I think Maryland's a very strong team. They're well coached, like I said. So I think for us to get a test against those guys on the road right away is great for our team and an opportunity for us. I think, for us, it's always important to play before Blaine. One, I want to make sure we do have some on-ice games under our belt going into that big showcase. And I think for us, it's a great weekend to play in terms of quiet times around the rinks. Hopefully we can take advantage of it. You'll have some college coaches who are captive audiences at this point of the year. And that's another weekend where they come out and watch our roster play, and guys get a chance to have their own personal commercials for these guys going into Blaine as well. So we're excited to go. I mean, I can't believe it's here already, but we are excited nonetheless to get on that bus and get down there and compete and measure ourselves against the defending champs.
So the season begins Friday, 6:30 p.m., Saturday at 7 from Piney Orchard Arena in Odenton, Maryland, and of course live on Hockey TV. Speaking of Hockey TV fans, you can still save 60% on your subscription if you order before September 13th. And by the way, the Titans home opener will be on October 1st against Maryland. And make sure you head to njtitansnahl.com for information on both Hockey TV and for tickets. Craig Doremus, again, glad to be back, and thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you at the rink soon.
Well, there goes another edition of the New Jersey Titans Coaches Corner. My name is Tom Willms, and we'll see you real soon.